friends, glad you're here today. I'm back home. I was away a little bit for the weekend, shooting this on Monday. On Saturday, Belle performed on the field at Busch Stadium before the Cardinals game, and that was super exciting. She performed with her cheer squads, like a couple of squads together, and she did a really great job. I was so proud of her, like seeing her do back handsprings on the same field where the Major League Baseball players play. That's so cool. So that part was really fun. The not fun part was like having two little kids who had to be dragged to the game 3 hours in advance and were therefore not wanting to stay at the game itself for very long. Thank you, Dippin' Dots. You helped a little bit. When we were back home yesterday, I was unpacking my makeup because we decided to stay overnight and like make a little thing of it. I was unpacking my stuff and I thought, okay, here's a great time as I'm putting stuff back in my drawers. I could go ahead and maybe declutter some things. And you know, I just always try to do that every so often, really pretty frequently actually. But as I was going through drawers, it was like, I found myself making the case for everything to stay. Like I could justify anything's existence in this room. I was just not in that mode to declutter. And sometimes you're just not, you know, you could decide you're gonna do it, but then you're just not of the mind to do it. Now there will be other times where I really am, even in various parts of the house. It's like I'd be walking through the living room, you know, everything must go. Let's get this stuff out. I'm ready to throw things away. Make a pile of things to give away. We're gonna do a yard sale. Yeah, I can get there with it, but I just for some reason was totally not, and I thought, ding, 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 there's a video. Just like little rediscoveries I made and basically a reverse declutter because as I went through my stuff, I found all these things where I was like, oh yeah. So oops, sorry, Un-Declutter. And I'm wearing a lot of the things today, actually. I set it aside, some of the things I was feeling this way about, and I thought you might just like to know about it, and maybe you have them sitting around in your makeup collection as well. But I came across these sticks that I hardly ever use. They're from Wet n Wild, and it's the Hydra, sorry, I'm reading the wrong language side, Hydra Depuffer for eye and face, and also the Impossible Primer Stick. It says the one silicone-free primer stick that does it all. I'm actually wearing both of these today, and I forgot how incredibly cooling this Hydra Depuffer thing is. It felt amazing on my under eyes this morning. So I'm gonna be grabbing for that one more. And when I saw it yesterday, I thought, yeah, why not? Because sticks don't last forever. These have a little additional cap on them, which does help the freshness of a stick. But something I've learned over time is that sticks just don't last forever. And then this Impossible Primer Stick, I'm not so sure about this one. Like I want to use it for sure, but I'm just like, I used it today and it's kind of funny, like using a primer stick, you go all over your face and then you start to blend it and you're thinking like, is it blending far enough? How much did I put on? Was it enough? Like, is it all working into itself? I wasn't quite sure, but I think I'll hopefully realize that with time and more use. And there's kind of a Wet n Wild kick on these first few products, completely unintentionally, but I also had forgotten to use my Glow in Love primer. This has niacinamide and glycerin in it. It's a glowy primer. It's like the glowy primers that are kind of like Charlotte Tilbury, but minus any kind of coverage stuff. I think this just comes in the one shade. But it was beautifully glowy, and I've got it on under my makeup today. I could see me putting this on top of makeup too, if you want to see like what the finish is like. Can blend it out here. It's like the perfect, not too light, not too dark, and it's not chunky either. So I just put that all over my skin today underneath the makeup. And then another Wet n Wild thing, because I had hopped down to some foundation drawers and I was like, oh yeah, the Bare Focus Niacinamide Skin Tint, like this is really good. I feel like it gives me a very similar result to the Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. I wear this in the shade light medium, but I just sometimes forget about it. Like I think Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator, Photo Focus Matte Dewy, and it's like that's my thought process for the Wet n Wild coverage stuff. But this stuff is nice, and the dropper does work, and I'm wearing that as my all over coverage today. And it's light, but it was good, you know? Back up to the drawer where I have concealers and stuff. This thing from Rare Beauty. Remember when I felt like everybody was using this? I can't even see what it's called. My shade is light, but it's their brightener thing. Okay, it looks like a concealer, but it's got that little metal tip that's supposed to be, I guess, cooling, depuffing. I've got some of this on. I layered it up with other concealer. It's very thin. I think I like it, but it definitely doesn't go as far for me in a corrective sense as like a Catrice or an e.l.f. pinky tone creamy brightener. But like, who's still using this? How are you guys using this? Do you work it in all over your face? I don't know. I saw it and I definitely wanted to get more out of it. But at the same time, putting it on today, I'm like, I'm coming away with kind of an it's fine reaction. The NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum, all the way. Love this stuff. This always surprises me how little it takes. Like, you pump out a small pump, not a full pump, just a little bit, and I will always have excess with this. It always gives me more than I need because the stuff spreads so far and it has such good coverage for as thin as it is. It's always surprising. Really good stuff, needs to be getting used more for sure. Oh, another thing I was gonna say, I sort of rediscovered this or thought about this before the trip and I packed it with me, my Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. This is so good. Like, it's so easy to throw on a foundation stick. I thought, okay, a little overnight stay, I'm taking a foundation stick. You just draw it across your face, you blend it in. Unlike a primer stick, you're seeing where it's going. Maybe we need tinted primer sticks, you know? But I have this in the shade 05 and it always looks so pretty on my skin. It's the closest drugstore thing I have to my Fenty stick, except a little less moisture compared to that one, but still really, really good. And another thing, this is just my face stuff. Like, I had gone through this whole face section. That was when I really realized, like, this is not a declutter. This is an anti-declutter. I don't know, maybe when I move on to eyes, I'll have a better mentality about it. Maybe I'll find some to declutter and others to keep. This turned into a straight up, like, rediscovered moments video. My Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch powder. I have this in Cupcake. So this is like a pressed take on Huda's very popular loose powder. This is brightening. It's good. What I've realized over time, and I think I said this in another video too, I don't love it immediately setting concealer, but I kind of like it as a touch-up. Kind of like the brightening effect it can have. Like, just coming in after the fact. And you can see I'm applying it with a light little brush, but I feel like immediately put on, there's something kind of heavy about this. So it's a useful powder, but I haven't been using it really in any respect lately, and I think I could use it more. Oh, here's another one. I saw somebody talking about the original Laura Mercier loose powder, and I'm like, yeah, that needs to come back. It's a really great powder. Like, I've gone on and on about the Ultra Blur version and how I think maybe I like that better. And of course, I've got several really good drugstore loose powders, but I'm wearing this today too, and I just thought, yeah, you know, it feels good. It just feels good. The original Laura Mercier with that kind of plummy, brownish colored cap. I like that. And then also MAC. I have a MAC Studio Fix here in C4, and I use this also just lightly setting everywhere on my makeup. And you know, I've got those certain drugstore powder foundations that I'll use that way. Like, I've already done foundation, I've already done concealer, I've set with loose powder, but I feel like I need a little more everywhere else. So why can't Fix Plus do that too? It can. She should. I shot my stash for a bunch of blush things. That drawer needs help, but guys, I was only in a mode to save, I guess. And also a couple of palettes that I want to bring back for full face. I'm about certain this is not available anymore, but it's just unfair, the lack of use with this one. It's the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalk'r palette. Does anybody remember this? It's a face and eye palette full of basically bronzers, and there's like a couple shimmers there. And I've got that on my eyes today, and I'm also wearing it as my bronzer, and I enjoyed it so much, just going straight down the row of mattes and then like a little bit of this in the inner corner, and I also highlighted with that slightly. But I enjoyed that, and the shades are kind of fun to use on your eyes because they're really not as pigmented as an eyeshadow would be. They're not that soft, so you can just really have fun with the application, and I like how everything turned out there. So whether that's available for everyone or not, I just wanted to use it more. And then also the little Cali Ray face palette. This is super handy. Why is this not living up here among some of my other full face things? This is the essence of a palette where anything can be anything, you know, like eyeshadows, or if you wanted to work those in as bronzer, sure. Setting powder, highlighters, blushes, a little blended out kind of eyeshadow shade. It's such a good little palette. I mean, I wish they filled this little spot with a mirror there, but I mean, you're gonna look a little picture of a sunset, okay? I got other mirrors though. It's so lightweight, it's so easy. If it had the mirror, it would be ultimately so travel friendly, but I want to use that one more. This is something that is still being sold, and I used to have a lot of these blushes from Tarte, but now I've just held on to a few, including the one called Exposed. Back a long time ago, who was watching YouTube when like everyone had Tarte Exposed and oh my gosh, it was so good. That's what everyone said, but it's been a while since I've used it and I'm like, do I still like this? I don't know, but I'm sure as heck not just gonna chuck it yet. You know, like I'm gonna use it more and see. I don't have it on today, but more to come on this. Remember the little Amazonian clay things? Who still uses Tarte blushes actively and who loves this one still? Another thing that just hit me, like, use these more. I've got a couple of these blushes from Sephora. I think one is probably newer packaging and this is older packaging. This one's called Colorful Blush. The shade is Hey Jealousy. It's spelled different, but it makes me think of the Gin Blossoms. Hey Jealousy. Look at this fun watermelon-y color. I'd wear that anytime. Yeah, it looks like it has a little satin finish. Nice and pigmented. For sure. It kind of reminds me of the NYX Buttermelt blush that I have, but I think it's going to be a little softer than that. And then this, when I was playing around, I just threw this on top of my look. This one called Colorful Matte Blush. The shade is called Over the Moon. Look at that cool pink. And I was just playing around and it was like, okay, this isn't real strong because it's so light, but yet it like cooled down my cheek. It, I don't know, did something. Like I put that over my blush and I don't know if you can even tell the subtle nature of what's happening here, but like that cheek to that cheek, there's a difference. I'll tell you what was originally on the cheek in a second. But I like this. I like the idea of a little blush layering. This is a definite like layering blush piece. It just changes the look a little. And then these guys. Why are these not coming to mind for me anymore? I love these. The Lumi Liquid Blushes from L'Oreal. These are probably my top two, and this is the one where I'm like, yeah, she needs more use. This is Glowy Worth It Medium. Look at that. Can we make that work for fall? Absolutely. Today I'm wearing this one. It's the Dewy Bright Pink. And this, you know, I felt like my cheeks looked super strong right after I put it on, and inevitably the whole look gets finished and then the blush looks less. But like a little dot of this was totally enough. And this one called Dewy Worth It, it looks kind of like nothing, but I swear it shows up so well. It shows up big time. I mean, even for that kind of tone, it looks like kind of a muted, dusty peach sort of vibe, very earthy. I felt like when I first used it, like, man, I underestimated this shade. It's really good. So there's a whole range of something that I felt like, wow, I'm overlooking that. And another product of that exact same type are my Ami Collet sticks. These came from Sephora. I've got 3 different shades. They're a duo stick, so they can be lip and cheek. Think like a definite matte full colored duo stick. My favorite one and the first one I got, I believe it was this one called Spice. It's very like berry looking. I'm gonna swatch all these. So there's an immediate full color swatch. But picture that shearing out. Like it can be so pretty on lips and cheeks. I like a multitasker like that. If it's a formula I can work with. Now it's a little stiffer feeling on the blend compared to like a Persona or any of those blush sticks that feel really, really like they're practically melting down on your skin. But it's not a problem. Let me get that straight. It's not a problem. I can totally work that into my skin. Beyond that, I had purchased one called Dune. Here's your earthy one, like kind of in the bronzer family, but it's definitely a blush. I've got it really, really close to the other shade, but it's right there. And then the other one I have is Flame. Oh man, here it is unblended. Like it's bright. It's so much fun. If you're a fan of reddish blushes, kind of a warm red, as I shear it out, like it's kind of a strawberry look. Love those. Creams don't last forever. Sticks don't last forever. Not that anything literally is lasting forever, but you know what I mean. Those things aren't always gonna stay true to form as long, so I need to get use out of those. What's on my lips today? I don't think I've covered that. Oh yeah, I've been playing with the Too Faced Cloud Crush whipped lip and cheek colors, and I just have this on my lips today. It's the shade called Headliner. So that's the overall color. It's just a little deeper than what you're seeing because my gloss is making that seem a little bit lighter, but it's really pretty. I like that tone. There's a lot of richness in these various Cloud Crush things. That's what I'm learning. But then I went over top with the LA Colors Holographic Iridescent Lip Gloss. This is a little bit like milky nude, not fully opaque, and it just looks pretty. On top of that, adds a little shimmer too. So that's my chat for today, friends. I just found it interesting. Like, oh, I want to do a declutter. I really think I feel like doing a declutter, but it just didn't happen. So I thought I'd share with you the reality of what did happen. But you know, sometimes that's just as valuable, like bringing things front of mind again. Like, you bought the stuff. The goal doesn't always have to be to throw it away. But in my life, it's like I'm either in the mode or I'm not in the mode. There's also a certain level of frustration that comes in. If I'm really in the mood to declutter, like, I'm also probably a little bit frustrated and a little bit mad about the level of mess. And maybe, I mean, I've gotten a lot of my drawers in pretty good shape now, so the declutter wasn't absolutely essential at this time. I just thought it'd be a good idea, but I guess it wasn't. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.